Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. For those that are new, my name is Nelly. This channel is all about dreams, lifestyle, spiritual minimalism, and faith. Today's story is about Rihab. As you can see, the topic says from hooker to hero. We see that in the book of Joshua 2, verse 1. She was a very courageous woman. As much as she was a prostitute, that was her job. We cannot judge her, but she was a very courageous woman. We see this woman living in Jericho. I see her as she was a very clued up woman. She knew whenever there's visitors coming in the town, she knew that, okay, there are new clients in the city. Rihab was a prostitute and she entertained a lot of visitors, and she could also identify who's new in town and who's not. Her story begins with the invasion of Jericho when she noticed these two spies. I guess I would say she was very smart because she was able to identify that these are spies. Maybe it's because her clients were men and she left with a lot of different men homes. She also identified these new strangers. She was always entertaining these men in the tavern. She knew who's new and who's not. Maybe the tavern was a place to be where you can get information about the area. Like in most areas, when you go to a tavern, that's where you get all the stories, all the juicy stories of the town. It was a very small town, so everyone knew each other. Rihab knew everything about the area, everything about Jericho, and she knew who's doing what and who's doing what, because some of these people were her clients. She actually took these strangers in. She made them hide at the roof of her house. Maybe she didn't have a big place. I guess it was the only place that she could hide them. She covered these spies with a cloth. She hid them at the roof of her house. I guess somebody saw her as she walked out with these spies, because it was a small town. The soldiers searched for the tavern and they searched Rehab's house as well. And she had to lie and said she didn't know anything about these spies. She actually had to come in negotiation with these two spies and said, if I get to protect you, you'll get to protect my family as well. So it was a one-on-one situation. There was an agreement between the spies and Rihab. As I say, she was a very clever woman. She really had to risk for God. You know, some people, they would not even go as far as risking for God. This is a prostitute, took her faith in risking for God. Sometimes you find that a whole Christian will not do that for God, to take in spies into their home. But this is somebody who risked her life to save these two people. We tend to judge other people because she's a prostitute. It wasn't just about her, it was about her family as well. For some reason, she knew that these people were sent by God. She also knew there was a God, which means she also believed in God. She knew that if the soldiers find out that she had kept these strangers, what was going to happen to her, but she still lied as well. Because it was a small town, there was a lot of stories that were being told. Can you imagine? God used her to save those two strangers. Because God does not judge you. God does not judge you on what you do. God knew that she was a prostitute, but still God used her. In most cases with us, we tend to judge people with the jobs they do. If God can use a prostitute, then we shouldn't judge people. God used Rihab to save those two strangers. He picked her. God knew that she was a prostitute, but he still picked her. You know, we Christians, sometimes we tend to judge people. We also judge people in church about what they are wearing. They wear too much makeup. He chose Rihab to be the one to help the two strangers. If God can use a prostitute, he can use anyone. Maybe that prostitute can enter heaven and you don't. Have you ever asked why are they even prostitutes? Have you ever asked them? No, but instead we always judge people. As much as Rihab was a prostitute, but she became a hero. She was the only one that took those two strangers in. The most important thing is God wants to see your heart. In Jeremiah 17 verse 10 speaks about God saying, I, the Lord, search the heart and examine the mind, to reward each person according to their own conduct and according to what their deeds deserve. So the Lord is looking at your heart. You as a person, you're judging according to what you see, but you're not seeing the heart. Rahab's heart had so much faith. So on this story, she took those strangers and lied. She believed in God. She had so much kindness. Her heart had so much kindness. So sometimes we shouldn't judge people. That is why the story is titled From a Hooker to a Hero, because Rihab was a hero. Thank you for watching. If this is content that you like, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And see you on the next video. God bless.